Hey, good afternoon. This is Jeremy with Easy Logistics Management. Today I wanted to kind of drill into what drayage is and what drayage companies kind of do and how drayage differs from transloading, as obviously a lot of production is done overseas and imported into the US, so this is a critical part of the supply chain. It's something that we used to not do a whole lot of, but with our new partnership we now have access to drayage and transloading services at almost every major port in the United States. So I wanted to cover a little bit more of the differences between the two modes of getting the containers from the ship to the end destination, and kind of how that plays out and maybe which ones are more advantageous depending on what you're doing. So with that said, in general, in my opinion, drayage is just where we're taking the import container off the ship and generally only transporting it a short length to either a transfer warehouse, your warehouse, or your end customer. But it's transporting in the international import container, being unloaded, and then returning that container back to the warehouse or wherever on a chassis specialized for import containers. So generally in the same import container, generally not too far away from the port because it becomes really pretty expensive when you compare it to transloading. Whereas by transloading, we're basically kind of doing the same thing, but we're transferring the material from the import container to a full truckload or an intermodal chassis, or putting it onto the rail for a longer haul shipment. If your facility or your end customer or your warehouse is not close to the port, it's more advantageous to transload and then ship on a truck or on the rail. Number two, again, drayage is good for short hauls. It can become much more expensive if you're doing it to the center of the country or cross country or whatever that looks like. And by utilizing transloading, though, you can generally save 3 to 7 days of your time to get your container into your warehouse, and approximately $200 to $600 per shipping container that you can transload and ship full truckload to your customers or your end facility. And in general, 3 40-foot import containers can be fit approximately on 2 53-foot full truckloads. So there's some efficiencies in that as well, just because you wouldn't be draying 3 full containers. We'd be transloading and only moving 2 full trucks to the end destination or consignee. Again, with this new partnership, we can offer transloading and drayage services from almost every major port, including Seattle, Tacoma area, Portland, Oregon, Hayward, California, which is near San Francisco, Long Beach, California, one of the busiest ports in the country, Houston, Texas, right in the middle of the country, Savannah, Georgia, in the southeast, Charleston, South Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia, New Jersey, and Chicago markets. So a lot of different options at a lot of busy ports. Almost anywhere in the country we can provide these services now. So that's a huge win for ourselves and our clients. And then obviously, like, via these locations, we can transfer to full truckload, intermodal, or rail, depending on if you're rail served or not. And then also, by using our services, we have 60 plus warehouses coast to coast. So we have the potential to not only transload and dray, but we can devan the containers and actually ship to your end client for you if you wanted more of a cross dock or cross ship scenario, or if you needed temporary warehousing. So we could ship to your clients via LTL, ground parcel, or full truckload, again, obviously, at our discounted rates. So another benefit to working with us potentially in this scenario would be taking advantage of our freight rates, UPS and FedEx discounts, or full truckload rates. So a lot of different options. I mean, truly an interesting supply chain solution. And you know, this is stuff that we deal with daily. So if you need a better drayage or transloading solution, or you just need the ability to transload and dray containers from a variety of destinations, depending on where you're growing in the market, or at least on the correct coast closest to your end clients, we can provide those services. So feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at jeremy@easylogisticsmanagement.com, or call me at 866-854-5341, extension 3, and I'd be happy to have a quick meeting with you and see if we can bring some efficiencies and cost savings and provide you more infrastructure. It's my company. We're looking to grow, and we'd be honored to work with you more this year. So give us a call. Thanks.